This is Bomb Hoops Podcast.
What is up, guys? This is Bomb Hoops Podcast hosted by Jem and Jello. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and click the notification bell as well to keep you updated on our latest releases. And also to help us reach 1,000 subscribers. So yun, tol. We're here to discuss yung top teammates ni LeBron in his career.
Yeah. So, ayun, shoutout sa suot ko ngayon.
Ayan.
LeBron sa Heat.
Yep.
Ayan.
And ako, naka-Lakers.
Ayan. So, una, tingin mo bro, from all the teams na nagkaroon si LeBron, anong team yung pinakamalakas?
It's the 2012-2013 Heat pa rin talaga. Although, I think there's an argument for the last year's team, pero sobrang dominant kasi talaga nung team na yun eh. Nung Heatles team na yun, na parang walang tatalo kahit saan mo tingnan. Even if you match them up with the best of the best team nung season na yun, sila talaga eh.
Yeah. And actually, parang pamigay na nga na si Joel Anthony yung starting center nila. Kasi kahit ganun ka kahit ganun kakulang yung center position, yung compensation naman na nabibigay ni Chris Bosh, LeBron James, and Dwayne Wade, sobra-sobra. Plus, nag-step up pa sila Mario Chalmers, sila Mike Miller. So, talagang medyo mismatch pagdating sa mga kalaban nila. And that's why sila ang pinaka-hated na team noong time na yun.
And I think sila yung team na nag-start talaga ng small ball na once they went small with Bosh at the 5, with Shane Battier at the 4, or maybe sometimes Rashard Lewis or Udonis Haslem, sobrang lakas nila on the offensive end, and even on defense they were good.
And actually from the strongest team, I think kailangan natin i-appreciate kahit hindi ganun kalakas yung team na to is yung 07 Cavs. Yung effort na binigay ni LeBron para lang makapag-final sila. Parang is out of this world eh. And I think wala na makakaulit. I think naulit niya noong 2018. Pero that's it. Parang siya lang talaga yung may capability of carrying a team of role players.
Yep, to the finals. And I think that 2018 team is actually a bit more talented compared to the 2017. So ayan, may konting tulong pa rin since he still had Kevin Love on that team. Compared dun sa 2007 Cavs team na yun na he was the lone star talaga.
Perhaps you can make a case for Larry Hughes or
Zydrunas Ilgauskas, pero hindi eh.
Parang LeBron pa rin eh. Parang yung double overtime game niya against the Detroit Pistons, yun yung nag-start ng legacy niya as a superstar in the league.
Yes. So, ayan. I think, yun nga, sabi ko nga kanina, I think the Laker team of the past season could make an argument because of how good his teammates are. Imagine having Anthony Davis who could probably win an MVP down the line. And also having great former defensive player of the year in Dwight Howard. Tapos meron ka pang one of the all-time great point guards in Rajon Rondo as your backup pa. Di siya starter. Tapos Danny Green, who was coming off a championship and perhaps the best shooting season of his career.
Actually, tol, for me, it's a tie between the 2012 Heat and today's Lakers. Ang kulang na lang sa Lakers ngayon is kung mag-champion sila. Yun lang naman yung iniintay ko. So, pero with that, let's start. Ikaw ba, tingin mo, who are LeBron's top 5 teammates of all time?
Okay, for the top 5 teammates, I think, question number 1, si Anthony Davis talaga. Even though they've only played one season together, yung amount of in-game load management ni LeBron, with Anthony Davis na lang nagawa. He never was able to do it with Kyrie. He was never able to do it even with Dwayne Wade, who was at the time na nag-start yung Big Three nila, was still at his superstar form. Si Anthony Davis lang nagbigay sa kanya ng affordability to take in-game rest na pwedeng in this game he just score 15 points or maybe just take 12 shots, pero they were still winning, they were still dominant and the best team in the West. And even to this day, they are currently the best team in the NBA with the 13-4 record.
Okay, so with that, sino naman yung number 2 mo?
Yeah, as for number 2, we made an argument nung napag-usapan natin na it should be Kyrie, pero I think it's still Dwayne Wade. Because Dwayne Wade was a better two-way player than Kyrie ever was. Dwayne Wade was a better leader, I think, than Kyrie was on the LeBron-led teams. Na siya yung naging backbone ng team when LeBron was still learning the ropes on how to be a championship player. And yun nga, he provided all the support that LeBron needed to be that leader that helped them win 2 championships. And I think yun, yung mga intangibles na katulad nun, that makes him the number 2 in the list na as the best teammates of LeBron all time. For number 3, I think it's Kyrie Irving naman. Ang question naman yun, given na yung ginawa nila noong 2016 finals, winning Game 5 with both of them scoring 40 points each, tapos yung Game 7 game winner niya, and yung solid defense niya on Stephen Curry nung buong series na yun.
So, okay, let's go to your number 4.
For the rest naman, I think number 4 it would be Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh has done an amazing job actually nung time na yun as a third option na sa team nila. Mahirap maging third option sa isang championship winning team because usually diminish yung number mo coming from an all-star team na ikaw yung leading player tapos biglang number 3 option ka na lang. Pero Chris Bosh did well in his job, and in times nga nawala si LeBron or LeBron was taking rest, and even when Dwayne Wade was taking rest, Chris Bosh brought his A game and showed that he was still capable of being the number 1 option on another team. Sadyang malakas lang talaga yung teammates niya, and he was given the opportunity to focus on other parts of his game and dominate in his own way. For number 5, it's tough to decide kung sino yung number 5, I think. Pero I think it would go to Kevin Love na who was able to put up great numbers naman alongside LeBron James. Just not as great nung numbers niya when he was with the Minnesota Timberwolves. But he helped them win a championship, and that speaks volumes. Especially nung 2016 and 2016-17 season na he was an all-star, and also in 2017-18 mahirap maging all-star sa NBA, that's for sure. And even though sabihin natin na LeBron made him the all-star that he is, it's only part LeBron. He was still a great player in himself, and he did everything he could to transform himself into a player that matched the play style of LeBron James.
Okay, I see. So, let's go muna to my top 5 picks before we start discussing, bro. So, okay, for my number 1, I think we agree naman na Anthony Davis is the best teammate LeBron ever had. Because, in my opinion, siya lang talaga yung nag-complement perfectly kay LeBron James sa laro niya. And he's the only dominant big man talaga na naging teammate ni LeBron. I wouldn't consider Chris Bosh or Kevin Love dominant kasi more on finesse type sila eh. Anthony Davis has the capability to punish people inside. And ayun, walang teammate si LeBron na nakagawa nun. And not to mention this is the first time talaga na afford ni LeBron, sabi mo nga, to slack off and still have the confidence for them to win the game comfortably. And nakikita nga natin yan this season na LeBron is averaging career low numbers, and still he is still on the best team in the NBA. So okay, going to number 2, I think we're going to disagree with this, but Kyrie Irving. Bakit si Kyrie Irving over Dwayne Wade? Personally, Kyrie Irving was still averaging high numbers despite playing alongside LeBron James. And I can remember Kyrie Irving scoring 55 points against the contending San Antonio Spurs with Kawhi Leonard playing and LaMarcus Aldridge. So that in itself, doing that in San Antonio, which is one of the toughest teams to play, and let alone doing that away from home, speaks volume sa talent ni Kyrie Irving. And nasabi mo na nga yung 40 points na ginawa ni Kyrie alongside LeBron. And yung game winner nga na ginawa niya nung 2016 playoffs. Si Kyrie lang yung nakikita kong superstar teammate ni LeBron na kayang mag-average ng high numbers, or not average, or kaya niya mag-put up when it counts despite playing alongside LeBron. Syempre, if you're a teammate of LeBron James, you really have to make way kasi siya yung superstar eh. And I think yun na nga yung naging issue with Kyrie Irving na na he doesn't want to be the Robin to the Batman. So ayun na nga, he decided to parted ways. Pero ganun pa din with LeBron James, with playing alongside LeBron James, hindi nagde-diminish yung play niya, which is super rare to see with other superstars who teamed up with LeBron. And ayun nga, I'm putting Dwayne Wade for number 3 dahil nga nagde-diminish yung play ni Dwayne Wade when he was playing alongside LeBron James. Though I'll have to give credit to Dwayne Wade kasi he's a very underrated closer and an underrated defender nga. If you can remember, especially during his prime, si Dwayne Wade yung tumatawa sa mga best scorers ng kabilang team. Siya yung tumatawa kay Kobe, siya yung tumatawa kay LeBron, kay Carmelo Anthony, kay Kevin Durant, etc. And I still remember yung Gatorade commercial niya na nananaginip siya na natalo siya ni Kevin Durant. Do you remember that, bro?
Yeah. And isa pa din yung isa pang underrated reason kung bakit tingin ko he was a better player than Kyrie as a teammate to LeBron was yun nga, yung sa defense na at the time of we speak na isa siya sa mga leading shot blockers na guards na bihira talaga.
Yeah. And he was actually averaging nung time niya he was averaging 1 block per game as a guard. Parang that's unheard of for a guard rather sa NBA. So, and for my number 4 naman, I'm going to take Chris Bosh. Close slight advantage lang over Kevin Love. Why Chris Bosh? Like what you said, if for example nagpapahinga si LeBron, si Chris Bosh talaga yung nagsa-step up, hindi si Dwayne Wade eh. And yung si Chris Bosh yung nagte-take ng mga clutch shots, siya yung gumagawa ng clutch defensive plays. If you can remember nung finals, nagkaroon ng game-saving block si Chris Bosh kay Danny Green to seal the game 7 to seal game 6 and have the deciding game 7 in overtime.
And also the clutch rebound to give the game-tying shot to Ray Allen.
So I partly blame Greg Popovich for that.
For taking out Tim Duncan.
Yeah. Bakit mo tatanggalin yung one of your best rebounder and interior defenders, 'di ba? During that time. Pero ayun nga, Chris Bosh is well capable of doing that. And sadly nga, his career was cut short perhaps during his one of his prime years kasi nga nagka-blood clutch siya, and sadly he could have been a first ballot Hall of Famer if not for that. And baka nakapag-playoffs pa ng marami tong yung Miami Heat kasi nasa kanila pa si Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh.
And actually nung time na umalis si LeBron and the season following nung first season na wala si LeBron doon, they were a top 4 seed sa East. Sadyang, yun nga, marred by injuries na talaga to Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Kaya, ayun, they fell off.
Yeah, and for my number 5 is si Kevin Love. Pero I'm not discrediting Kevin Love in any way. In fact, sobrang tight ng comparison ko sa kanila ni Chris Bosh. Solely because Kevin Love is a good complement to LeBron James. Siya yung perfect complement sa drive and kick na ginagawa ni LeBron. And he actually scored the second most points in a quarter, just 1 point behind Klay Thompson. And kung na-shoot nga ni Kevin Love yung tres na yun to end the first quarter, baka ayun nalagpasan niya sana si Klay Thompson sa record na yun. Pero that speaks volumes na capable pala si Kevin Love to do such things. I think na-derail lang ng onti yung career niya because of injuries, ganun. Pero once na he recovers, I think he will be an impact player for the Cleveland Cavaliers this season.
So ayun, dito na tayo sa point na nagdi-disagree tayo with who is the number 2 and number 3. So I think valid naman yung points mo with Kyrie na he was putting up peak numbers, he was putting up all these stats, game winners, na he played when it counts. Pero LeBron was still the undisputed na player na mas magaling. Pero and he was a leader among the team. Pero with Dwayne Wade kasi during lalo na nung first season nila together, merong argument na is Dwayne Wade actually the better teammate than LeBron James? Because nung time na yon, Dwayne Wade was actually putting up 27, 5, and 5 in comparison to LeBron's 26 and I think 7 and 7. So they were just toe-to-toe talaga in stats. And Dwayne Wade was more of the vocal leader for the team. And ayun, hindi mo matatawaran yung leadership and championship experience na dinala ni Dwayne Wade to LeBron James when he came to the Miami Heat. So I think that counts as him being one of the best teammates of LeBron James.
Yeah, gets ko naman yun, bro. For me lang is mas kasi if you put LeBron and Dwayne Wade together, parang kailangan mag-sacrifice ni Dwayne Wade to give way nga kay LeBron James. Kay Kyrie, he is capable of playing at his peak level alongside LeBron. Excuse me. Tsaka one thing about Dwayne Wade is hindi sila perfect complement ni LeBron James. Na for LeBron to work with a drive and kick system or a drive and kick play, kailangan niya ng shooter. And sadly, hindi naman knockdown 3-point shooter si Dwayne Wade. I think he's even below average sa 3-pointers nung time na magkasama sila ni LeBron. Nothing against Dwayne Wade kasi in fact, more credit to him kasi he was averaging MVP numbers without having a consistent 3-point shot. Pero dun napapasok yung fit ni Kyrie kay LeBron na he is able to knock down the 3-point shot in a catch and shoot situation with LeBron James na napakadaling gawin pag kasing galing ni LeBron yung nagpapasa sa'yo ng bola.
Pero Dwayne Wade was able to adapt his game enough to be an effective player still. And he became from one of the best slashers and on-ball players to being one of the best cutters and off-ball scorers in the NBA na nakita naman natin yung dominance nila noong 2012, 2013. Hindi mo talaga mapigilan yung offense nila. Even though Dwayne Wade was averaging just around 23 points per game. He was still so good at it. And he was one of their clutch performers pa rin. Similar to Kyrie Irving. Pero Kyrie was often injured and often absent during the regular season. And not to mention, he only played 3 seasons with LeBron James compared to Dwayne Wade's 4. Na imagine if Kyrie Irving stayed for another season with a revamped Cleveland Cavaliers team, maybe they could have challenged the Hamptons 5 of the Golden State Warriors pa rin.
And one of the reasons why I'm picking Kyrie over Dwayne Wade, I'm not saying na Kyrie is a greater player than Dwayne Wade in general. I'm just basing it kasi nung time na magiging magkakampi na si LeBron and Dwayne Wade is already declining. Though gradual lang, pero he's already declining. Hindi na natin nakikita yung scoring champion na type of Dwayne Wade na kaya bumuhat ng team. Samantalang si LeBron, when the time he went to Cleveland, nasa peak ng career yun ng career ni Kyrie Irving. And Kyrie Irving was actually the All-Star Game MVP prior to the season na pumunta si LeBron James sa Cleveland. So parang alam ni LeBron na magko-complement to well with me kasi he can shoot. And yun talaga yung polarizing difference nila ni Dwayne Wade. Kyrie can shoot and Dwayne Wade can shoot perimeter shots but not 3-pointers. Ayun lang naman.
I think isa pang minus sa choice with Kyrie being the number 2 best teammate of LeBron is yung off-court issues nila. Kyrie was often arguing with LeBron in terms of leadership and how to play the game. Kasi nga, gusto ni Kyrie siya yung number 1 option, siya yung primary ball handler. And LeBron cannot be the secondary ball handler in any team at all. Mahirap. Because LeBron is most effective with the ball in his hands. I think that's an argument that's long been confirmed na hindi talaga pwedeng maging off-ball player sa LeBron. Otherwise, you're using him wrong.
And kahit ngayon nga na he's aging, siya pa rin yung primary ball handler. Kahit even when they had Rajon Rondo, siya pa din eh. So,
surprisingly nga, naging shooter si Rondo dahil kay LeBron.
Yeah, especially during the playoffs. Pero ayun nga, with someone like LeBron James, mas mag-fit si Kyrie over Dwayne Wade. So, ayan.
Yeah, I get that naman. Pero, ayun, in terms, I think talaga, for me, yung overall impact on being a great teammate, the best teammate, it's Dwayne Wade. Pero, I think it's not much of a difference naman with Kyrie. Kung i-compensate mo naman with the on-court impact.
Kaya nga, ayun nga kaso may off-court issues talaga din si Kyrie. Ay, hindi nga natapos doon hanggang ngayon. Medyo questionable.
After mag-sorry ni Kyrie ng 2017-18 season, midway, na-realize niya, it's hard to be a leader. And he actually called LeBron James for leadership tips naman. Mukhang may reconciliation, and actually, nung time na nakuha ng Lakers si Anthony Davis, some were expecting for Kyrie Irving to actually rejoin LeBron in LA.
And Lakers, yeah.
Tapos, ngayon naman, nagkaroon sila ng argument dahil sa statement ni Kyrie na first time daw niya sa career niya magkaroon ng clutch teammate with Kevin Durant.
Parang nakakainis kasi yung narrative na na LeBron isn't clutch when he has hit, I think, the most clutch shots in NBA history.
The most, actually, not the most clutch shots, but the most clutch player in NBA history.
Yeah, statistically speaking, no. So, to get that recognition above Kobe, above Michael Jordan. You have to give credit. So parang may narrative lang na hindi clutch si LeBron dahil nga may mga times na pumapalpak siya.
Or he chose to pass. I think if he passes the ball and the player makes the shot, that's still a clutch play because that helps you win. And I think that factors in yung kasi yung usually na miss out because ang tinitingnan natin is yung clutch game-winning shots na Kobe holds the record for. And MJ is a close second. Pero hindi lang yun because they miss a ton of game-winning shots din. And while LeBron has made more game-winning plays actually.
And ayun nga, one example is yung pang-eliminate ng Cavs sa Wizards nun when he passed to Daniel Gibson. So ayun, I think parang na-undermine natin si LeBron kasi nagiging quote-unquote passive siya in clutch situations when I think he's just doing the best play possible. For example, nakita ko yung game 5 against the Miami Heat last NBA Finals lang. Parang kung ikaw si LeBron, bakit ka magcha-challenge ng tatlong defenders na wala ka namang chance talagang makascore? Why not pass it to the wide open man? And ayun nga, binigay niya kay Danny Green.
Unfortunately, nag-short ka, pero it was a good shot still. It was a good play.
So parang walang kasalanan dun si LeBron. Parang we should stop this narrative na LeBron isn't clutch. Kasi he's just doing the right thing at the right time.
And if we look back at the previous playoffs nga, LeBron was so clutch in certain situations. Particularly yung Game 5 nung Denver series nila. Na the game was really close coming into the fourth. Pero LeBron scored, I think, 10 or 12 straight points. And those were not easy shots. They were mostly broken plays and mid-range jump shots na bihira nang tinitake sa NBA ngayon.
And even back then, nung sa 2007 conference finals against the Detroit Pistons, he scored 28 points. 28 points of the last 30 points ng Cleveland
Yeah.
Cavaliers. So, parang dun pa lang paano mo masasabing hindi clutch to? And he took over a game while being guarded by Tayshaun Prince the whole game. Diba? That's something else.
So ayun tol, with that said, sino ba yung honorable mentions natin for best teammate dito?
One is, ang sasabihin ko si Mo Williams. Bakit si Mo Williams? Kasi naging all-star player siya, an all-star caliber player alongside LeBron James. And fun fact lang, the one and only all-star appearance ni Mo Williams is nung kakampi niya si LeBron James. So, it's not a fluke na ganun yung nangyari. It just means na maganda yung fit ni Mo Williams with LeBron James, and LeBron James was able to bring the best out of Mo Williams.
And he has still an impact player nung second stint niya together with LeBron na nanalo sila ng championship as a backup player na nga lang. Kasi ganun nga aganda yung fit nila together. And same for me, I think it's Mo Williams na an honorable mention as one of his best teammates. Because Mo Williams helped him win a 66 and 16 season na mahirap gawin yun yung ganong karaming wins.
Yeah. And he was actually a clutch player kasi he was able to take over pag nanlalamig si LeBron James.
And I think another would be Zydrunas Ilgauskas, who was siguro yung steady hand sa lahat ng LeBron teams during his first stint with the Cleveland Cavaliers, na magkaroon man si LeBron ng ibang teammates na although mediocre pa rin, Zydrunas Ilgauskas stood still as a reliable option in the post.
And he was also an all-star nga din. With being a teammate of LeBron James. Though nung time na naging all-star si Ilgauskas is kasi more on coach's decision. Number one seed yung number one seed yung Cavs nun. So pinili si Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Pero he was still nevertheless a good player.
And yung what ifs nga nung team na yun is, what if Carlos Boozer never left the Cavs and he stayed with the Cavs during LeBron's rookie year? Maybe he could have stayed and be an all-star with LeBron James. And with Mo Williams in tow, with Zydrunas Ilgauskas, maybe LeBron had a better core during his time with the Cavs ng unang season, unang part ng career niya doon.
Yeah, and sayang lang kasi ang daming chance na nakita sana natin si Kobe going against LeBron James in the finals. Sadyang hindi lang talaga nangyari.
I think that would end the argument kung nagkatapat sila.
Yeah. Tsaka yun yung, I think that's the greatest NBA finals matchup that never happened. Kasi
swerte yung mga viewers ng 80s because they saw Magic and Bird face each other multiple times. Yeah. Kaya nakakalungkot na hindi natin nakita yung matchup ni LeBron tsaka ni Kobe ever.
Kasi dalawang generational talents argued to be who's the greatest player of this generation, di ba? Tapos they were never able to face each other. And every time they faced during the regular season, maganda yung matchup na binibigay nila sa fans.
It was always a close game. It was never a game na boring. Except for a few games na nag-dominate yung Lakers or nag-dominate yung Cavs or yung Heat. Hindi mo sasabihin even yung final game nila against each other nung 2015-16 season, Kobe was putting up great numbers against LeBron, and he even outplayed LeBron in a couple of plays. Nagkatalo na lang talaga nung last few shots na nag-take over sa LeBron.
Yeah, and syempre lumabas na din yung edad ni Kobe nung mga time na yun. So ayan, for my final statements lang for the teammates. Actually, LeBron is really the ideal teammate you'd like to have in a team.
For any team.
Walang, kahit si Jordan, hindi niya nabibigay yung ganong impact na he can score and also at the same time, step up in defense and make your teammates better. Parang wala pa talagang superstar na nakakagawa.
And-
The closest the closest I can think of is Magic Johnson eh. Pero ang layo ng playstyle nila from each other.
And if tinanong mo lahat ng analysts sa NBA, may it be rookie analysts or mga veteran analysts, news writers, sports writers, LeBron is a great scorer, yes. But his greatest asset is his playmaking.
Yeah, I agree. So, yeah, I think that's it for this episode. So, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to our channel, and share this video and hit that notification bell so we can get to 1,000 subscribers. Yeah. So, yeah. Go.
Again, this is my partner Jem, and my name is Jello. This is Bomb Hoops Podcast, bringing you the best content from the Philippines about hoops, and in the NBA and around the world.
Yeah, so yeah, make sure to subscribe to our channel because once we get 1,000 subscribers, we'll have a surprise for you definitely.
And yeah, see you in the next episode, guys. Peace out.